Mike Williams recovering okay with his hamstring?
Getting better every day. Yeah, today I think he ran some full speed on the side, so he's getting better.
Do you think he'll be back next week, or are you guys going to be pretty conservative?
I'm going to be conservative right now for sure, but I don't like to put a timetable on guys, but he's doing well.
Like Jason was able to do a little bit more this week.
Yeah, it was good to see him out there in 7-on-7 drills. Yeah, I thought he competed well today. Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
To compete for spots. I'm going to open this up to see if there's any questions you guys may have concerning the kicking game.
George, as far as the kicker, what do you try to get accomplished in the offseason leading up to training camp? What do you focus on?
Eric, right now, the basic thing we're focusing on is trying to get the timing, because you have two new kickers from two different backgrounds. You have a new snapper, you have a couple new holders. So right now we're just working on timing in terms of the timing from the snap to the hold to the kick, and just making sure that they're in a tempo of kicking the football, through the uprights.
And then the competition between Caleb and Roberto, how does that work early on? And obviously it's going to come down to how they perform.
Right. It's going to ramp up once we get to training camp. Right now, it's just a filling out period because it's really our first chance, getting a chance to see those guys kick. They both have done a good job during the course of the offseason in terms of kicking the football. So we're excited about both of those young men. Understand this, that Caleb, when he came out, was a fifth-round pick. Roberto was the second-round pick. So obviously those guys have some quality to them in terms of where they were drafted at. Caleb is a veteran guy. Roberto's his second year going back into the league. So we're looking forward to seeing what both those guys can do through the course of training camp.
Is that what you like about Caleb, the fact that he's had some experience in terms of bringing him into free agency?
Absolutely. He's an excellent kicker. He got nicked a little bit last year. I think it was after the first ball game. Missed the rest of the season. But prior to him getting injured, he was a quality kicker. So we're looking forward to having a chance to see him kick once we get to training camp.
George, do you view it as kind of an even competition at this point?
It's always even, Dan, in terms of competition. You bring two guys in. Like I said, they both were high draft picks in terms of specialists. We're just looking forward to the opportunity to get to camp and see these guys kick. And hopefully, one of those guys will come through, and I'm quite sure one of them will, but we're excited about both of them.
Coach, what do you feel about those new kickoff rules, and how does that change? Does it make things different in terms of preparing how to approach the kickoff game this year?
Rick, it's going to change the dynamics of the kickoff. Usually in the past, with the no running start, the premium is going to be on speed in terms of coverage. You may see some different things from a coverage standpoint. Also, you may see different things from a kicking standpoint. Don't want to give anything away. We're going to work on that this week in terms of our OTA practices, but that's going to be a big emphasis in terms of the return game as well, because it's going to be totally different. You have 8 guys in a box opposed to 6 or 5, so it's going to be a big difference there. You have no wedge in the back end, so hopefully with speed you have a chance for guys to get down the football field and make individual plays.
Do you think it's important to reform the kickoff just given the injury risk, or how do you feel about that?
Anytime you can provide safety for players, regardless if it's not having a wedge, kickoff rules, and just like seat belts for cars, you're trying to promote safety. Anytime you can have safety, you're going to have that, and that's a big deal for our league in terms of with the concussion syndromes that we have here, the concussion protocols. We look forward to trying to provide as much safety for our players as possible, but I think it's a good rule.
Do you think there's a chance the kickoff could go away entirely at some point in your career?
I don't know that. That's not for me to call. That's above my pay grade. But hopefully, for my sake, it don't go away, because that's part of what we do as coaches. So hopefully it'll stay around for a long time.
Sure. Can you see, last year you guys were able to find some guys, undrafted guys that
Right.
were big helps in special teams and coverage and stuff. Can
Right.
you see that now? Can you start in your mind with quickness and speed, or is that more of a training camp?
No, Dan, that's one thing. You go back a year ago, we had a young man named Austin Eckler. All you guys know. Austin came in as an undrafted free agent, Dan. Early on, he was a scout team guy for us, just ran down and gave us great looks. And we kept watching this guy, and Coach Lynn, hey, Coach Stewart, this guy's always showing up. Let's give him opportunity. He made an opportunity, made an impression. Some of these young guys are making an impression as well, so we're always looking for talent. Tom Telesco and his staff did a great job, not only drafting great players in terms of speed that can help us, but he did a great job going out and finding undrafted guys. In our history here in Los Angeles, we've done a great job on undrafted free agents, so we're looking forward to that in terms of giving young men opportunities.
Is there anybody in particular you can else just like stood out? in that
There's a
process?
handful of young guys, that we're looking at in terms of undrafted guys. So I can just give you one, and I guess it's unfair to the rest of them. A young man named DeJuan Hines, a linebacker from University of Houston, has done an outstanding job. You look at Ben Johnson. I said one day, but I give you two. You look at Ben Johnson, a young man from Kansas. He's done a great job in terms of showing up here. So we give all these guys opportunities to have a chance to make a play. They have a dream. At one time, they're a pro football player, and that's one thing that we're trying to do is make sure that those guys' dreams come true. Eric Artavius done a great job. That's one thing that at Clemson, he was a great kickoff return guy. We weren't able to use him last year because he was on our practice squad, but as a punt returner, we really did a great job last year, or he really did a great job last year of spending time catching punts. And that's one thing you see, Eric, this offseason, our preseason, is him have a chance back deep to be our punt returner. Although Travis has done a great job, he was third in the league last year in punt returns, but Artavius will get a shot to be our punt returner. Exactly right. Both.
Why is it important to keep the kickoff in the game in some form?
Well, I think, number one, because it gives people opportunity. I go back and I look at a young man that I drafted in Minnesota, Cordell Patterson, a Percy Harvin, guys that have great kickoff return skills. It gives those guys a chance to make plays for you. Obviously, it's a big play in the game. It can turn a game around quickly. You go back and look at the opening kickoff of the Super Bowl a few years ago. Devin Hester returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. So it's always good to have that play in your game because it provides such a big impact for your football team. Guys, thank you. I truly appreciate it. Thank you, man. They did lose it, but he did score a touchdown.
I remember I was in Chicago with my friends all the time.
Thank you.
Jack, you really did. You really did ask a lot of questions. Oh, yeah. He goes quick.